Yeah, came at 17. Damn. Give me my money. Give me my money.
So today I learned about seaborn library in Python, and now seaborn is like built on matplotlib. Okay, and seaborn is like it is a visualization library, and it has few inbuilt custom ways to represent data, and means we can use matplotlib also, but uh, seaborn makes it easy. So let us first start by making a new notebook. It will take some time. Now I have installed seaborn in my laptop. So seaborn is already installed. Let me just rename until the kernel starts totally. Seaborn tutorial rename. Now we can import seaborn. Import born. Now generally seaborn is imported as SNS. Okay, it is a short form, I guess. That is standard short form, I would say, which is used by most of the people. It is taking some time because I have installed it just now inside my. That might be the reason why it is taking this much time. Now, until then, let us talk about what is there in. Miss Seaborn has various things, but there are few plots we can talk about, like the most basic plot in Seaborn libraries, line plot. Okay. Now, now one more thing is that SNS has a few already set datas on GitHub, and we can just use that data by using load dataset function, and it will directly load so that we can use it for our practice. Now let me just take line plot. So first let us set a style sns dot set uh, in bracket style is equals to dark. Now let us take one random data set RAD. Let us name it RAD equals to SNS dot. I told you about a load dataset, load underscore dataset, uh, data set in bracket. There is one particular dataset fMRI. So let us check. It has loaded the dataset fMRI from GitHub, I guess. Now let us plot it. Okay, SNS dot. Wait a minute. SNS dot line plot shift in bracket. Now data is equals to fMRI. Let us see. SNS dot line plot. Now fMRI is not defined. I guess we need to put it inside a. Okay, so I don't know what has happened. Axis subplot. Okay. We need to add for x and y axis as well, I guess. Wait a minute, there is one x-axis and y-axis as well. X equals to time point, hmm? And y, wait a minute, time point, comma, y also we have to, I think, give y equals to signal. Means this they there are few particular uh, time point and signal is data set which is already there in fMRI in a GitHub. So we are just calling that particular data set to that particular means line x axis or y axis, that particular axis. Okay, now mm, let us now run and see what happens. Wait a minute, warnings, pass the following variable keyword. Okay, could not interpret value time point and parameter x equals to time point comma y equals to signal comma me equals to region. Wait a minute, comma me equals to hmm, I don't know what. Could not interpret value data. If instance PD. Wait a minute. Let me just wait a minute. So means the problem here is that I gave the data in column. Okay, here could not interpret the value time point for parameter x. It could not interpret the value because the data was given in the in form of column, so it took it as a string. Now if I do shift enter, line plot, now here you can see it has given us everything, signal, time point, x-axis, y-axis, the region also we have give, it has colored it, and there is event and there is data. So this was a basic line plot in seaborn. We can also do histogram, and for histogram we would need to import a random state, means a random value. That is all there. So that's all I learned today. Thank you.